I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Matt once again, and this is a request for Albin, and thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting reviews or topics, re-reviews, whatever type of videos you can request, either directly to PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, to be perfectly honest, movies like this are just not my cup of tea. They're just not the kind of movies I gravitate towards to, whether it be about the Holocaust or Auschwitz or whatever. It's just, again, not my... They're just not what I care to see movie-wise. There's just personal taste. But this was a request, and Schindler's List, it's a well-made film. It's not a rant, because the actors do their jobs well. Liam Neeson, Ben Kingsley, Ray Fiennes. It's directed with very nice cinematography, pretty much all in black and white, except a bit where one kid is in red, which I'll get to, and then the very, very end of the film is in color. And I don't think this really needed to be 3 hours long. I really, truly don't. I think you could get the whole gist of it in a 90-minute, 100-minute movie. So I will admit there are times I just thought it did drag. Because again, I don't think this needed to be an over 3-hour movie. I really did not. Because I got the gist of it. Liam Neeson, he plays a character who's a businessman. He's working with the Germans. He too is a German. He's in the city to make his fortune. He has his factory where he gets these Jewish people to work for him. Ben Kingsley is like his guy his go-to guy to talk with the other Jewish community. He'll bribe officers in order to get this, get that, help run his business. He gets Ben Kingsley to contact people in the black market and other businesses to help with his factory. He's friendly with the Nazis. He gets wealth. He gets status, higher and higher status. And you really hone in on the atrocities of the war, where the Nazis will randomly kill whoever they want in brutal fashion. There are times where they'll get someone, just shoot them point blank in the head. Doesn't matter who it is, man or woman. And on that level, was it effective? Yeah, it was effective. The images of piles of clothes or piles of trinkets, piles of suitcases that the Nazis took from all of the community to have as their own. The point of the film where they're telling all these people to drag mounds and mounds of bodies for these big, huge, burning piles. The Nazis are just laying waste to people, even people who are hiding in pianos or hiding under beds. A Nazi will just fire willy-nilly to anyone who's hiding. Liam Neeson's witnessing all this, and at one point he's this little girl. I do think that was an interesting choice of Steven Spielberg to make this one girl, the color scheme, red, so that if it's a wide shot you'll notice. His whole point being, hey, Liam Neeson's character, ain't it obvious? It's as obvious as that little girl in bright red going along. That's how obvious the whole situation is. When will you wake up? Which ultimately he does. Especially later on when they're getting the piles of bodies, he sees that same girl. And we know, because while everything else is black and white, she's still in red. So that was an interesting way of using the color scheme of the movie to its advantage. John Williams did the score, different type of score John Williams used to doing. Liam Neeson, I like him as an actor. He does a solid job as Oskar Schindler. Ben Kingsley as the Jewish official who helped him with contacts. Ray Fiennes, you definitely hate the guy with what he does to people. You see a little bit of Liam Neeson's character, like when these people are trapped on the train. It's like they're begging for water, so he gets some of them to get a hose. And while they're moving, he's like, no, hold there for a little while. No, hold there a little bit longer. And then when people are being taken away, he realizes there's some way to help. So he bribes officials, bribes Ray Fiennes, saying, well, I need people for my factory. Hey, we know each other. We've known him for a bit. I could get you money. All the money he has saved up, he's now using it to save whoever he can. And by the end, he gets like 850 people, so that they're not going to Auschwitz, which is where people are burned alive. And there's little subplots that I get their intention, but I can't say I cared. As in, this one woman who Ray Fiennes was beating the shit out of, and she even tells Liam Neeson she's scared that he's going to shoot her one day, and Liam Neeson says, oh, he's not going to do that because of this, this, and this. I get his intention, but I think that some of that could have easily been cut out. Because by this point, we already get who Ray Fiennes is as a character. We've already seen enough for Liam Neeson to be able to change his mind. I get this based on a real person. How much is real, how much is not, I don't know, because I wasn't there. But I don't think every single one of these bits. I think the funny thing is, I swear that the months, because when he gets those people there, and then for months they're helping him with his factory, and like tell him, hey, look at the time, shouldn't you be enjoying the Sabbath? Like, he gets to know these guys. It seems like that bit is, I don't want to say rushed, but we don't hone in on that bit of the months of these guys helping him at this factory. I'm like, you know what? How about more time with that portion of the story? If you gotta make a 3-hour movie and less of stuff like this one girl who Ray Fiennes may or may not shoot. That's just how I honestly feel. Now, like I said, the acting works. Liam Neeson, it might seem very soap opera-like, where the war is over, he's trying to get them to safety. He talks about how he could have saved more this car, how much did this car cost, how many people could I have gotten, and Ben Kingsley keeps telling him, you did enough, you did enough, you did enough. He keeps crying, saying, I could have saved more, and he breaks down, and the workers hug him. For some reason, I don't think that happened in real life, but it works for the movie. It works for the culmination of 3 hours of this horror, that there's a moment where this character has reached a breaking point. He's done the best that he could. He wished he could do more. That makes you, the viewer, at least in my opinion, endear the character a bit more endearing. And then also the workers hugging him to showcase their appreciation for what he's done. Again, it might seem a bit broad. It might seem a bit... well, broad is the right term. But I was fine with it. And they get the safety. And then it cuts to real time, at least for 93, when this was made. You have real people, either real from back in the day or their descendants, passing over the actual grave of Oskar Schindler and giving their appreciation stones. And it kind of showcases just how many people are alive now because of what this guy did. And even some of the actors, like the last shot is someone giving roses, as Liam Neeson, the actor. So it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall of the film. You don't see up close of Liam Neeson's face, but I could tell from his shape and that it was Liam Neeson. And actually in the info you look up, they do say, yeah, it was supposed to be Liam Neeson. Which I get because it's a nod to the real life circumstances. It took me back a little bit because I'm like, okay, now we're not in a film anymore, now we're in reality. So it was like, okay, took me like a minute to adjust to that. One little thing is, early on, when Liam Neeson enters a room, there's a song playing. It's the song that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis danced to at the end of True Lies. You know that da 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 ba da 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 da. I'm like, wait, I recognize this song. So it's weird. Like James Cameron did True Lies. I guess he didn't see Schindler's List, or he'd be like, do I really want to put a piece of music that the last time people heard it was in Schindler's List? But now I'm going to put this music at the end of my fun action movie True Lies. So I just thought that was kind of, just one thing that made me chuckle. And this song here in this series film, and that's going to be used in True Lies, which came out in 94, a year after this. But yeah, I mean, it's a good looking film. The cinematography, the black and white, the cinematography, it's, you know, the horrors of war definitely showcases that. And well, I knew enough about history, so it's like nothing about this surprised me. But I mean, it's a story worth telling. I really don't know as well as to say. I mean, it's, like I said, it's not a bad movie at all. It's just, like I said, it's not really my cup of tea. That's why I never really, like, I've seen bits and pieces of it that I knew enough about it, but I never wanted to seek out and sit down for over 3 hours to watch a movie about this plot. It just, I didn't. I know about it from history and history classes. I knew enough about it. It's not really something you get enjoyment out of it. That's usually why I go to movies, is to enjoy them, whether to escape reality or some other nature. But I mean, it's a story worth telling, so I'm not getting mad at it or anything. Well done movie. well-made film. I would never see it again. But I don't know what else to say about it. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.